I've been thinking about ways to convey my feelings about this topic in a video, and I decided to just go off the cuff like I have in previous videos like this, because it just seems to work the best, but I always inevitably say something that later gets proven within the few hours or the next day, so I'm just gonna start talking, and I'm gonna try and keep this concise. Rooster Teeth is shutting down. Warner Brothers Discovery announced it. I'm sure everyone's seen it. It was first reported by Variety, I believe. And they literally used Ruby Rose as the picture when they uploaded it on social media announcing Rooster Teeth's shutdown. And that means a whole heap, hundreds of employees are now without a job. And I believe a majority of them, if not all of them, discovered on social media like all of us, which is very unfortunate. It's never good when people lose their jobs, especially in situations like this. It kind of leads to the point of like mass consumerism, and conglomerating companies like this is not always a good thing. Even though we got things like the RWBY and DC movies out of this, long term it didn't last, and now Rooster Teeth is done for, which is a shame. I have covered Rooster Teeth news in the past, not the most favourable news about Rooster Teeth, but regardless of that news and the way I've talked about shows like RWBY, I am upset. I know Rooster Teeth has meant a lot to a lot of people, and it's given a lot of people fantastic careers, just as equally has it given some people some bad memories, unfortunately, which is the nature of, I'm assuming, every company. I don't think there's any company in the world that has a 100% squeaky clean record. But I truly would like to believe that Rooster Teeth has done more good than bad throughout its tenure, throughout its years of creating content, starting from what it was to what it became. And I feel bad for Rooster Teeth and everyone that loves Rooster Teeth and everyone that worked there and created stuff there. So, moving on to the topic of RWBY. RWBY is something I've loved since 2015. It's quite unfortunate. I feel like I've been through... RWBY's a tough show to love. It's truly a love-hate relationship back and forth with RWBY, because there are so many things that it does that are amazing and make you fall in love with the show all over again, and then there are so many things it does which makes you just cringe or want to die, because it's just very unfortunate sometimes the way they go about things. But RWBY has genuinely been one of the shows and one of the things I have put a lot of love into, and I don't often do that with a lot of shows and games. I've mentioned it before in previous videos. There's only a few IPs out there which I truly love to an extent that I want to keep following it throughout the years. Like, if you look behind me, I'll move aside for you. RWBY. I have a whole shelf of the RWBY books, first 3 volumes on DVD, and literally every RWBY book, even the little Japanese one, which I can't read, and I have 2 figures, a Weiss and a RWBY. Ignore the fact that Yugi doesn't have a head, my niece knocked it off. But regardless, I have every RWBY book there is to get. I ordered the Japanese volume 1 to 8 pro-made archives book from a website. I hope that's still coming. Should be coming in May, I think. That should be on the way. Regardless, the future of RWBY and a lot of the other IPs like Red vs. Blue are uncertain. It was pretty quickly announced, I think in that same Variety article, that Warner Brothers Discovery is looking to sell those IPs to whoever wants to continue them. And while that is good, I was going to take it with a grain of salt. I'm going to try and be realistic with you here. There is a good chance that, yes, perhaps a good company would pick it up. I was discussing with Gus earlier, hopefully a company like Crunchyroll will pick it up. Someone that has directly worked with RWBY and will know how well it does and what it needs to continue being good, and potentially hire back RWBY and the voice actors, the original voice actors and actresses. So that's that is wishful thinking, because genuinely, I don't know. I don't know if it's out there how well RWBY Volume 9 did on Crunchyroll. I don't know the stats. I'm hoping it did well, and I'm hoping that will be kind of like signals to Crunchyroll to be like, oh, we could acquire this, make Volume 10, finish the show, and then we have the rights to RWBY for the rest of time, or something like that. Because that would just benefit Crunchyroll with no downside in my mind. Like, genuinely, I think that could work. But there is also a very good possibility that another company acquires RWBY and either like doesn't do anything with it, or reboots it, or continues it with different cast and crew and voice actors, which is also a possibility. And I feel like, yes, while it would give RWBY the opportunity to continue, it would also be tainted in a way if the original people and voice actors and actresses weren't a part of it. That would just suck. So, best case scenario, hopefully someone or a company picks it up and is able to retain the original cast and crew to create RWBY Volume 10. However, with how long sales take, like, realistically, Warner Brothers Discovery could be asking an absurd amount. We don't know what they're asking for. I'm recording this the same day. Like, I've had the whole day to kind of absorb this information and release, and talk about it now. But realistically, Warner Brothers Discovery could have a highly demanding price for it. By the time it does get acquired, all the people that had previously worked on it could have moved on already, because they need jobs. So they could already have moved on to other projects and other jobs, and making them unavailable to continue on RWBY. And, or it could just stay in limbo. Like, there is a very good chance that it stays in limbo, and people just have to be ready for that. Now, I'm going to try and upload this video the same day. All this was announced, at least in Australia, to me. But however, I'm aware tomorrow morning, or tomorrow at some point, there is going to be an RTTV live stream on Rooster Teeth's website discussing everything. And I highly doubt they have any major updates about where everything's going, since Warner Brothers Discovery has announced they're selling the IPs. And that whole thing of acquiring IPs could take ages. Who knows? So, no doubt we'll learn more in the future when that information becomes available. And maybe I'll do another video talking about all that when it happens. But for now, I just want to say, RWBY has been an amazing show. I got into it, I believe, in 2015, the same month Monty passed away. I literally remember getting in, like, watching all the volumes, binging them, like, volumes 1 and 2, binging them, telling my mate Aaron about it, like, in school, and then, like, that day, Monty passed away. And I went to school the next day and said, hey, you know the show I told you about? Its creator has just passed away. I don't know what's going on. I'm very upset. Why does this happen to me? Like, I felt like I cursed it in a way, and that I don't know, it sucked. And yeah, and then I was there ever since. I've been following RWBY ever since. Volume 3 blew it out of the water. Volume 4 was fine. Volume 5, I was there during the dark era of Volume 5. And I have been a part of this community ever since. Like, I haven't made a lot of videos about it. Like, only the past year or two I've actually made content on it. Like, reacting to Volume 9 with Gus, talking about theories and stuff like that. And I still have this video. I'm probably going to make it. I've talked about it before. The life and timeline of Neapolitan. I'm still probably going to make it because she's my favorite character and I want to do something like that. And I do want to do something else to commemorate RWBY. But for now, I feel like we can continue saying we want more RWBY, we want it to continue, but at the end of the day, it's not up to us, it's up to the business bigwigs, and we have to just be aware of the fact this could be the end. And if it is, we've made wonderful memories, the wonderful community, like, it's had its bad side, no doubt, every community does, but it all in all has been a wonderful community, the RWBY fandom, and look, this could very well be the end. We can hold out hope that it isn't, but me personally, I'm going to make some more content based around it, the stuff I've wanted to do, and then if nothing happens, eventually just move on, like we do with many things in life. And if it is, thank you RWBY. I know I doubt anyone's going to be actually watching this, but thank you, RWBY. Thank you, Rooster Teeth, for the content you've created, and hoping everybody lands on their feet after this. And if RWBY ends here, so be it. That's just the way life is sometimes. And if RWBY is able to continue, I will be there for it. So yeah, that's all for now. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe. And if anything big happens at RTTV during the live stream that completely bugs up this whole video, I'll make a follow-up. We'll see. I've done it before. Anyway, catch you guys later.
I had one thing, and you're taking it from me.